You've been deceived, not just by society, not just by love songs and romantic comedies, but by your own instincts. The illusion of female innocence has been carefully crafted and perpetuated, leaving countless men blindsided by a reality they were never prepared to face. Society has painted a picture of women as gentle, nurturing, and selfless creatures, driven by pure love and noble intentions. We've been led to believe that women are uncorrupted by darker impulses, their hearts untainted by selfish motives. But beneath this carefully constructed facade lies a primal, ruthlessly calculating force that most men don't see until it's too late. This hidden aspect of female nature is what Carl Jung referred to as the shadow, a part of the psyche that remains disguised even from the woman herself. It's this shadow that explains the sudden transformation many men witness in their partners, from kind and devoted to cold and indifferent, seemingly without warning or reason. But here's the truth that society doesn't want you to know. Women are designed to deceive. Not because they are inherently liars, but because nature demands it for their survival. This deception is particularly crucial in navigating the complex landscape of male psychology. Love, as we've been taught to understand it, is a myth when it comes to female nature. A woman's love is never unconditional. It's a transaction, a biological contract where a man's utility determines his worth. The moment a man ceases to be useful, he becomes disposable. Men, blinded by their own projections, often mistake a woman's performance of vulnerability for depth. They fall into what Jung called the anima trap, where the woman reflects whatever version of herself keeps the man invested. It's a masterful illusion, one that can shatter a man's world when it finally breaks. When a man fails to meet a woman's unconscious demands, she may punish him with withdrawal, indifference, or the silent treatment. This isn't cruelty, it's instinct, shaped by thousands of years of evolution, where women who prioritized survival over sentiment outlived those who did not. The harsh reality is that women do not love, they negotiate. Their loyalty and respect are inextricably tied to what a man provides: stability, resources, protection. It's a biological contract, one that women unconsciously assess and adjust based on a man's genetic and social value. Jung described women as unconscious predators whose survival depends on their ability to evaluate, extract, and exit. This drive, known as hypergamy, pushes women to secure the best possible mate, even at the cost of emotional whiplash for the men in their lives. Perhaps the most chilling insight from Jung's research is that a woman's deepest fear is not being alone, but being truly seen. The moment her mask slips, the carefully constructed illusion crumbles, and her true nature is exposed. As men eventually see through the script women unconsciously follow, they find themselves engaged in what Jung called the shadow war, an invisible battle between a woman's pretense and her actual self. The most dangerous women in this war are those who believe their own lies, claiming to want honesty while punishing it, or professing not to be angry while making someone suffer. Women control men through a form of emotional alchemy, turning their virtues against them. The more responsible a man becomes, the more irresponsible she might act. If he's stable, she might destabilize him. If confident, she'll test him relentlessly. This isn't done out of malice, but because her unconscious demands proof that he can survive her darkness. Jung's files noted that often, the sweeter the woman appears on the surface, the deadlier her shadow. He documented cases of perfect wives who secretly sabotaged their husbands through strategic helplessness. When a woman says, "I don't know why I'm like this," she often means it. Her shadow acts through her, a puppet master pulling strings she can't even see. But knowledge is power, and a man who truly understands female nature cannot be controlled by it. Jung's exposure of these truths was meant to make men dangerous, not in a physical sense, but in the way that truth is dangerous to lies. To navigate this treacherous landscape, men must follow what I call the redemption protocol. First, become her mirror. Women change for consequences, not lectures. When she creates chaos, become still. When she plays victim, become indifferent. When she tests you, become unreachable. Her shadow respects what it cannot manipulate. Second, outsource nothing. Never let a woman be your therapist, purpose, or moral compass. The moment you outsource your emotional oxygen to a woman, she may suffocate you to survive. Develop a rich inner life so that female attention becomes optional, not essential. Finally, weaponize your own shadow. A man's power comes from wielding his darkness, not avoiding it. Channel suppressed rage into discipline, denied lust into creative force, and fear of being alone into self-sufficiency. Women fear integrated men whose shadows are allies, not enemies. The world needs men who cannot be controlled, not cruel or violent men, but men who understand and live by these truths. Men who can see beyond the illusion, who can love without losing themselves, and who can navigate the complex waters of female nature without drowning in them. Remember, this isn't about vilifying women. It's about understanding the primal forces that drive human behavior, forces that have been shaped by millions of years of evolution. By acknowledging these truths, we can move beyond the myths and illusions that have kept us trapped in cycles of disappointment and betrayal. The path forward isn't easy, but it's necessary. It requires courage to face these uncomfortable truths, wisdom to apply them without bitterness, and strength to forge a new way of relating to women that's based on reality, not fantasy. In the end, true power comes from understanding. And now that you understand the truth about female nature, you have the power to change the game. The question is, are you ready to use it?